Oh, ring, ring, ring. Oh, what's that? Oh, hello. Oh, what? The Reform Council has been selected now as the permanent member for the council. Oh, what a surprise. I mean, look, I would say a decent track record for making predictions. And when obviously this 18-year-old was selected to be put in charge of Warwickshire County Council as, like, quote, interim leader, I knew instantly he was probably going to be made leader of the council. Like, I just knew instantly. Why? Because we had all that whole flag fiasco, right? That I would say now, I think, was his big audition piece to the unit down in London. Hey, Reform UK, we can have, an 18-year-old running a big county council. Why? Because remember, we've got that unit down in London that controls them all. You might think you voted for, this reform-backed independent council that will stand up for your area. Oh no, it's the unit down in London that controls your councillor, and what Farage says goes. That's why they are so comfortable putting an 18-year-old in charge of this council. Now, I've said before, because I think it always is worth saying, I am fine if someone does want to run to be a local councillor, even an MP. If the party thinks that is okay, then by all means, go for it. But you are never going to see someone of that young age put into a big position. But we've seen this from Reform UK. We've seen it in here. We've now got an 18-year-old in charge of running the council. You have a 19 and a 22-year-old in Leicestershire running child services and adult services. You would not put them in that position where it requires a heck of a lot of knowledge, especially in child and adult services in Leicestershire, where you've got a lot of statutory requirements. So, yeah, congratulations, Warwickshire. You've got now an 18-year-old running your council. What could possibly go wrong? So, as always, before we get more into this, please do remember to click the like and subscribe button. And of course, don't forget to ring the bell as well. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's a YouTube membership button down below as well. They all help support the channel. So, thank you very much to everyone who does help and support the channel that way. So, let's crack on then into this, because oh my word, I cannot believe they have actually made this permanent. This is ridiculous. This is now, as I said, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? So, Reform UK has now selected an 18-year-old to lead Warwickshire County Council on a permanent basis. Jesus Christ. I can't believe they actually made this permanent. George Finch was, of course, installed as full-time leader for the reform group in the county after members voted on Friday, and said afterwards he would now deliver meaningful change. Yeah, meaningful change dictated to him by that unit down in London. There ain't no one else telling him what to do. Anyway, the election was, of course, needed after his predecessor, Rob Howard, quit the role just after 41 days into the job, citing health reasons for leaving. Finch took over now as interim leader. Reform, of course, does not hold an outright majority on the council, but is, of course, the largest party, meaning the 18-year-old and Reform still need the support of colleagues in other parties. In the 22nd of July, when the full council vote will, of course, be held to officially appoint him out as leader. So that will be happening in a couple of weeks' time. So far, since, of course, the May elections, the local Conservative group has helped Reform push through political appointments. Again, this is something you've really got to watch out for, because this is something we really need to talk about. The fact that there are a lot of Conservatives on these local councils who are like, oh, we hate Reform. Oh, we would never support Reform. And then they're supporting Reform constantly. like, what's going on, guys? So bear in mind, you should give them and bring that up to them next time they come to you for votes. Or you should remind them, next time we've got a big local election, you say you're going to stand up to reform, then why, or for example, in this case, Warwickshire, why is the Conservative group not standing up to reform? So back to this. If Finch was, of course, confirmed now as the council's leader, he would be among, again, the youngest now in the position in the county and in the country and in Warwickshire, and would oversee now a budget of now £500 million, along with council assets worth over £1.5 billion. Like I say, what could possibly go wrong? Anyway, following his election, Finch said, "I am very determined to give Warwickshire residents the proper representation at our council level. In May's local election, my colleagues and I stood on the promise of delivering meaningful change. That is exactly what we'll do." Finch, the councillor for Bedworth Central, was a member of the Conservative Party for 3 months before switching to Reform on the grounds, he said, that it would, quote, do better tackling illegal immigration. That's not your responsibility as a councillor, but there you go. And again, how much better would they tackle illegal immigration? Because Nigel doesn't really seem to have any serious plans for tackling illegal immigration. In his short time now as interim leader, the row came over the Progress Pride flag. And again, we covered that. I think that was his big addition piece to show that he could take orders. Some now opposition politicians were, of course, very critical of his appointment, even ahead of Friday's vote. The Labour MP for Birmingham Edgware Pete Grills said the people of Warwickshire frankly deserve better. This is not work experience. This is not about learning on the job. Mike Wood, the Conservative MP, also the previous council leader, said, speaking back in June, it would really take quite a remarkable 18-year-old to go straight from sixth form into running a large local authority with a £500 million budget with no previous experience. Yeah. And this isn't a remarkable 18-year-old at all. Like I say, he is there to be puppeted. He is there to be controlled, full stop. There is no other reason he is there. And that's why Reform are so comfortable putting him in charge. So that, the London office can pull the strings. That's why he is there. Pure and simple. When it comes around to the Doge stuff, he'll be, yes, Mr. Farage, I'll get this Doge stuff underway. And then, should anything go wrong, well, you've now got a convenient excuse. Well, he was just 18, he was just inexperienced. Convenient political excuse when these were the ones and these were the people putting these people in charge, saying, oh, yeah, they're absolutely great. They're wonderful. But when things start to go wrong, oh, he was just, 18, he was just inexperienced. Well, what had people been saying since the very beginning? Anyway, let me know what you think about all this, especially if you are from Warwickshire, because you've now got an 18-year-old in charge of your £2 billion council and in charge of £1.5 billion worth of assets. How confident are you that this is gonna go well? Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, don't forget, shall we say, to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.